Good evening, you all, and we are back with the market outlook and the trade opportunities for next week. I hope you all have had a profitable, brilliant week as we see the markets have registered some biggest gains in recent times. So we are going to take a quick review of what did the markets do last week and what are the trade opportunities, possible trade opportunities that we can watch for during the next week. As usual, we'll just start with S&P 500. We will look at the crude oil, gold, silver, how they have performed, and then go to the domestic markets. And towards the end of the video, we will discuss some possible opportunities, trade opportunities that might come up during the last week. So looking at S&P 500, we see a large green big candle registering 6.58% gains, and I was just checking when was the last time S&P registered this kind of gains and gave us a robust weekly closing. And surprisingly, this was the bigger closing than this was back in 2020. So we can say that S&P has registered highest gains in more than 1.5 years. Since November 2020, there weren't as big gains as this during a weekly closing for S&P 500, and that tells something that the positive sentiment in global financial markets is definitely back. We will take a quick peek at Dow Jones Industrial Average, and then we will move on to crude oil. So looking at Dow futures, we have a quick line chart here. Give me a quick moment. Let me check if we can pull out chart for Dow futures. Yeah, here we go. This is chart for Dow mini futures, and as we were saying that the 31,000 levels are crucial for Dow. After retesting those levels last week, we see a similar big green candle that we saw in S&P chart. Looking at the daily structure here, so we have this downside trend line, and this trend line is a good resistance for now, as well as we can also say that the current 34,000 level, from 33,000 to 34,000 level, in recent times we see that the price action between the 33,000 level to 34,000 level has always been pretty quick. It has always been 1 week price action. So we can hopefully expect this journey from 33,158 to 34,000 or 33,900 in no time. Surprisingly, though the crude oil prices have been increasing over the last week, the markets have not reacted to that. And right now, rather than looking at the domestic crude oil, we will look at WTI oil futures, which are currently trading at $112 per barrel. So from this resistance area around 112 to 114, if broken above this, we can expect the markets reacting to the oil prices. Domestically, the government's decision to cut down the tax on petroleum products and petrol and diesel was very welcomed by the business community, and the markets have already discounted that into the price action at moment. Uh, we'll switch to gold chart. We'll look at the domestic gold futures, which are trading at around 50,000 rupees, and again as we have been discussing for last couple of weeks. After testing the support at 49,800, 700 levels the last week, gold has bounced back. Uh, if there is a breakout above 51,000 levels, then we can definitely expect 53,000 and then 56,000 levels. Let's move to silver. So silver continues its sideways movement. Looking at this weekly chart, we do see a positive upside and a resting candle here, and the current support at 58,300, 58,700, 57,700 levels is crucial for silver. Uh, this is not a very rosy picture. We can expect a sideways movement, or if this support is broken, then we can see further downslide till 49,500 levels or 50,600 levels. And there is no opportunity in gold at moment. Moving to domestic markets here, we are looking at Nifty weekly chart, and after about 7 weeks, we have seen good weekly gains last week, and those gains being stable. The price levels are remaining, and there is no much sale by institutional investors in last 5-6 sessions. Um, if we switch to the daily chart here, we see that there is a incomplete double bottom sort of pattern. Here there is one bottom, and here there is one bottom. So if we look at, if we try to place a polyline here, then this could be the neckline of this double bottom, and then we can expect this kind of price action here. Now this double bottom will fail or succeed. There is a lot of time to ahead that is going to decide that. But till then, apart from this double bottom, we have a smaller double bottom in progress here, where we can mark price action, or we can mark the pattern something like this. And here we should have got breakout, but instead of that we got this slight pullback, and now we are looking at breakout at this level. We usually do not do this, but just for better understanding, I'm going to switch to 2 hours time frame and adjust this pattern, adjust the marking on this pattern much better, so we understand that this resistance at 16,400 is important, and the closing that we have got at 16,356, it quite close to that on Friday. So we can definitely expect either a gap up opening or a good upside moment on Monday. Towards the end of week, around the expiry, we can expect a resistance here, if at all there is upside move at 16,600, 16,650 levels, and if those are broken also, then we can definitely expect 16,700 to 16,900 sort of price action. This gap, if at all Nifty starts moving above 16,491, then we can leverage the quick price moment that will happen during the intraday session to fill this gap. On the downside, we can still say that 15,700 levels are the crucial support for Nifty at moment, and uh, we will quickly move on to Bank Nifty, which is star of the week. So after underperforming with Nifty consistently for last few weeks, we have seen in last 5 sessions or so Bank Nifty has outperformed Nifty. We see good two large green candles and two consecutive green candles um, after 5 to 6 sessions, and the important resistance at 34,800 levels was broken, and we got straight 1,000 points move ahead. So this particular resistance at 36,800, 36,900 levels, this still remains, and we will be able to see further upside in Bank Nifty. There could be some rest before it takes further upside, but in next 5 to 8 sessions, we'll be able to see Bank Nifty marching towards 36,500 to 36,800 levels. We will come back to Bank Nifty, but before that, we want to discuss Nifty Auto as well. That is one index that has taken outperformance over all other indices in the recent times. And since 13th May, that is in last 15 days, it has given brilliant returns. And once again, it is at very crucial level. It has created a triangular pattern which is indicating breakout on upside at 11,300 levels, and we are expecting from 11,300 to break it out up at least up till 11,800. If it breaks above 11,800, then 12,170, 12,200 would be the next resistance. So specific stocks in auto sector like the Bajaj Auto and Maruti, as well as some important stocks in auto ancillary sector would be an interesting pick where one would like to look for trade opportunities. Here in Bajaj Auto, 1678, the Friday high is important. If that is broken, then we can definitely target 6230, 6300 levels, and then over the time 6800 levels. Whenever we are talking about investing in current market conditions, not for a large amount of investment, but maybe around 10% of your capital in blue chip stocks, and less than 5% of your capital in good promising mid cap and large cap stocks would be able to fetch good returns over the long term. As we said, we will come back to Bank Nifty. So along with Bank Nifty, another major index that has moved well is financial services. And though the rupee has depreciated and given a disappointing performance over the last couple of weeks, the recent duty cuts on steel, as well as the initiatives from RBI, have saved and given good backing to financial services as well as the banks here. So looking at financial service index, again we see it is still underperforming the Nifty, but we will calculate its performance against Bank Nifty just for so better comparison. And as we see, Bank Nifty has outperformed Nifty in the recent times. Now here, this has created a beautiful double bottom here, and at all, if it is able to break this resistance level around 16,400 first and then 16,800, then we can expect 17,400 levels. The specific stocks between, before we discuss specific stocks between banks and financial services, Like we discussed Nifty CPSE index, I would like to draw your attention on a Nifty Financial Services 2550 index this time. Uh, Let me quickly pull up a chart for that index, and I will relate that chart with Nifty Financial Services chart that we just looked at. Give me a quick moment here. Uh, Yeah, so here we have chart for Nifty Financial Services 2550. What exactly this index does is on Nifty website, on Nifty NSE Indices website, it says that it has the same constituents as Nifty Financial Services Index, but uh, it refers to the maximum value for the percentage weight of the single stock to limits to 25, and the maximum value for the aggregate stocks a weight maximum aggregate weight percentage for the maximum value is limited to 50. Exact same constituents of Nifty Financial Services Index. You have Axis Bank, you have the Bajaj triplets, you have the HDFC triplets, then you have ICICI triplets, you have Kotak Mahindra, Mahindra and Mahindra Financial Services, you have Piramal, and then you have the government-owned enterprises. You have Par Finance, and you have SBI and SBI Life. You have REC, and then you also have Shri Ram Transport Finance. So same constituents, but the weightage has been changed in this index. And if we study this index in comparison with Nifty Financial Services Index, that we see a better picture, definitely see a rosier picture than Bank Nifty here. So in last week, Bank Nifty has performed well, but we feel looking at this chart that two consecutive green marks and further upside up to 17,555 or 550. We believe that now it is time for the financial services stocks to take precedence over the Bank Nifty stocks. While we try to look at particular stocks, one can look for opportunities in. Um, we were also looking at Nifty Private Bank, and we took a look at Nifty Public Bank sector, and we saw a surprising uh, moves there. So though Bank Nifty as whole has moved well, Nifty private sector banks, the private sector banks index has not moved much in last couple of weeks. They have definitely underperformed to rest of the stocks. So Nifty private bank index has very similar performance with Bank Nifty, but the public sector enterprises have not public sector banks have not performed in line with rest of its peers. um, in fact, it's not been able to break last week's high also. So unless high at 2547, or to be precise 2546.85 is broken, we will stay away from private sector banks, except SBI. We will come to that in next couple of minutes. But the stock specific charts would be one of very interesting chart that we have come across is HDFC Life. So looking at HDFC Life Insurance, there is a cup and handle pattern and an extension to that, and we have already got a sort of breakout, but the stock was not able to close above this breakout level on Friday. During the Friday session, it has tried breakout and then closed under that, but the amount of volume that we have got here, and the outperformance compared to Bank Nifty as well as Nifty here, the relative strength performance we can definitely bet on this stock. And buying in around 600 levels for first target of 650, and then the second target at 670 levels would definitely fetch good returns. The stock declares dividend on 31st May, so that day the investors need to be cautious, and if at all there is a close below 579 580 levels, then we would again stay away from this stock. There is a very less possibility for that to happen, but you never know. Right after HDFC Life, HDFC um, limited stocks, Housing Development Financial Limited stocks also is looking quite promising, and right above the recent close here, it is in the gap area, and till 2371 there is a gap. Above 2371 we can also see a quick price action historically here in this area. In this entire area historically there has been always been a quick price action, so we can buy in at current price levels, 2330, 2300 levels, and this stock could go up to 2378, 2448, and then there could be ultimate target of 2683 here. Another interesting chart is ICICI Bank, um, consistently performing well for last 6 sessions, and still consistent volumes also. So we can wait for some pullback, and this area at 7112 is will be a good buy. The first target could be around 770 levels, and then the gap area at 788 levels, ultimately 807 levels. This can happen in about 3 months, so around 100 days validity would be good if one decides to enter. Another outperformer very recently that we have been discussing again and again is Kotak Bank. So after giving a breakout at this trend line here, right from our suggested level, entry level of 1827, the stock has jumped to 1946. Good 5% upside it has seen in quick couple of sessions, and now our immediate target of 1975 and the second target of 2048 is not very far. Our ultimate target on this stock is 2300, and we are still firm on that. Apart from Kotak Bank, one last stock that we discussed, that was SBI Bank. And though we said that the public sector's bank have not performed well compared to the private sector banks and all its peers, SBI stands out in last 7 8 sessions after testing support at this crucial level of 439. It has bounced back to 468. So entering at current price levels at 465, 470 levels with the stop loss of 450 in mind, uh, uh, with the stop loss of 430 in mind, would be a good idea. And again, the targets for this stock, the immediate target, we check on daily chart. So entering here after this breakout around 470, 477 levels, with the target of 521 and longer term target of 550 with the stop loss of at around 430 levels would be a good idea. That is all for this week. In addition to all the stocks and indices that we discussed, the consumer, the FMCG sector is another one. If we have already not taken position in this sector, definitely selected FMCG stocks would outperform well in comparison with rest of the markets. Uh, That is all for now. We'll meet again on the next Saturday. Till then, have a profitable week ahead. Bye bye.